that sort of stuff. So a lot of radio stations thinking that this was going to be the big transition that was going to save them, like bought into some of this stuff. Yeah. People still listen to the radio. Like,
I listen to the radio. I listen to like NPR, and that's, I don't listen to music radio. I don't really understand how the music radio.
The only time
works.
I listen to, it's nonsense.
I'm confused.
Like the experience of what people want to listen to is splintered so much that the notion of like a top 40
is insane,
and a playlist period is crazy to me.
Well, also like,
and you know what? It just seems crazy, but like, it still moves numbers and sells a lot of fucking stuff.
When you see the number of people that are willing to like defend Britney Spears on Twitter, it's like, oh, this is like a totally different world of insane people out there.
I was listening to
Bush put out a new record, and it's like a top 10
really?
record. Puddle of Mud just put out a hot new record.
Awesome.
And again, these are like top charting artists that are making fucking shitloads more money than any of the stuff we're listening to.
Last time I was in a car with a radio, I'll actually listen to like hip hop stations because like that's the only way I'm fed.
You feel alive.
It's the only way I'm fed that like kind of music. But I put on a classic rock station, and it was like, Foghat, and then like.
Some Weezer.
It was like, it was like Nirvana.
You mean 20-year-old rock music, classic rock?
Yeah.
From your childhood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
So it was like, Led Zeppelin. It was like
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
And then, like Black Hole Sun up next. And it was like,
that's a classic rock song.
That's not a classic.
It's a classic rock.
That's the alternative
no,
station.
That's the beauty of classic rock is that it is constantly applicable and constantly like there's always new shit being added because as rock gets older, just more music becomes.
It's weird to me because to me, classic rock never designated old rock. I guess when I was a kid, it was just like
style.
It's a style that didn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So to see their playlist grow as everyone gets older.
Yeah.
It was all handlebar mustaches and cowbell.
Exactly. It was all like, we're spinning Brodies in this CUDA. Do you want to come out and smoke bones with us? Like, that
classic rock is now a black hole that just takes up everything that passes by.
To me, classic rock is music you would listen to while working on an engine.
And guess what that is? Fucking Soundgarden.
No,
I don't think so. Because
you're assuming
the cars from the era that people would be working on are not cars that people can work on themselves.
That's
anymore.
right. It's like Creedence Clearwater. It's like Led Zeppelin.
It's music from the 70s is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that
you're working on 70s cars while listening to 70s music.
You're right. What I'm saying is that people are still working on cars, but not listening to Foghat anymore. So guess what they listen to?
They fucked up.
I totally get what you're saying.
That's their problem. No, you're right about that.
When we were teenagers in the 90s, it was the music from 20 years before.
Nothing about grunge rock sounds like
70s.
working on cars. Because you're too sad to work on a car.
At the time we were hearing classic rock as teenagers, it was 20-year-old music.
Yeah.
And the music that is now being portrayed as classic rock is now 20 years old.
Precisely.
I love it. I love it.
Like,
I don't really have a problem with it, in that sense. But
are you gonna say like Creedence is in the oldies station now?
I think they need to come up with a new term for an all-inclusive classic rock.
Well, I think you're right. I think it makes the oldies
and
transition.
classic rock. Yeah, maybe it does make the oldies transition.
So what happens to like the Big Bopper? Is he classical?
What is like 50s sock hop kind of?
So oldies just gets wider too.
Yeah, well, everything is constantly expanding at a constant rate. It's the universe, man. Come on. The same rules apply to rock music.
The expansion of oldies and classic rock is accelerating.
You just explain
down.
the universe.
Classic rock is forever changed.
Classic rock is actually expanding faster than the universe can. So
when does music die?
There's classic rock that exists outside of the universe.
What happens when Kings of Leon gets old and it all folds back in on itself?
That's entropy. It's just cold death of the
heat death.
Heat death. Yeah.
Yes. Other stuff happened too. Mass Effect 3 is going to have multiplayer. Steve Jobs died.